Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I want to talk to you guys today, real quick. It's starting to get dark. About what zero I use for my 9mm AR. Okay, so this is a 16-inch barrel, and the zero that I use is 25 yards. So first zero is at 25 yards. Second zero is at 75 yards. Now, basically, I'm going to a different range tomorrow, and I wanted to take this rifle to shoot, and I wanted to check my zero. I did not remember what I had this zeroed at. So what I did is first I went to 50 yards. Um, and the last time I shot this was over the winter time. So over the winter, of course, it gets a lot colder. The flight path of your bullets can shift a little bit. So now with the warmer weather, I wanted to reconfirm what I was shooting with this. So I put this paper out at 50 yards, and at 50 yards, basically I got my dot on my bullseye, and I'm hitting about 1 inch high. Okay, at 50 yards. So I said, fine, let's leave that. I take this out to 100 yards, right? And what I did is I saw I was shooting a little bit to the left, and I went like I adjusted. I believe I adjusted 2 clicks to the right. Okay, and I took my just to the right, no elevation change, and I took another 3 shots, and now I am about 3 inches down. Okay, from my bullseye. So to me, this is like kind of ideal. Okay, what I want, because at 50 yards, I'm shooting just above my bullseye. At 100 yards, I'm shooting just below the bullseye. So from zero distance all the way out to 100 yards, I can put my dot in the middle of the paper, and I will be on this paper. Okay, even out to 150 yards, it's gonna drop over here. At 150 yards, I would basically I would put my dot up here, and I would get my hits over here. Now, like I said, I did not remember what zero I had used or how I even got there, because most likely what I did with this is I might have, when I did this over the winter, I might have had an initial like perfect zero at 50. Then I went out to 100 yards, and I saw that my bullets were dropping a little bit too low, and then I adjusted it up. That's most likely what happened. But now I'm looking at this, I'm saying this is kind of perfect. Let me figure out exactly what the zero is. So what I did is I grabbed another piece of paper, and there's a paper that's been shot a couple of times. So ignore these 3 shots. That's from looks like that's from a 5.56 or something. I took this to 15 yards, right? Because I didn't remember what I had used. Took a shot at 15 yards, and I see I'm hitting at the bottom of the blue bullseye here. So I said, okay, let's go out to 30 yards. So at 30 yards, I'm shooting high over here. I said, all right, let's go to 25 yards. 25 yards, I got my bullseye right in the middle of the paper, right in the middle of, I got a hole right in the middle of the bullseye. So I said, okay, I'm pretty sure, going on memory now, I'm pretty sure that my second zero is going to be at 75 yards, and that totally makes sense based on what I'm seeing from this target. So I go out to 75 yards. Problem is, when I go to 75 yards, the way this table is positioned, there's some bushes that are starting to grow in over there. I didn't have time to trim them because it's starting to get dark now. So I had to pull out this barrel and put this barrel over here, okay? And I pretty much had to take the shot on top of the barrel like this. So obviously that's not a very stable position. There was some movement involved. However, even with that somewhat not perfectly stable position, at 75 yards, I basically got my second hit right here on the blue, right on that center line. I went a little bit off to the right a little bit because, again, of the instability. But yeah, with the 16-inch barrel, 25 yard zero will give you a second zero at 75 yards. Now, that's with the 16-inch barrel. And I've got 9mm ARs. I've got them in 10 inches, 7.5 inches. I even got a 4-inch, okay? So obviously with the different lengths, that's gonna change. So what do I do? So my concern, right, so I would probably start off with the 50 yard zero. Or I would start off with the 25 yard zero, right? 25 yard zero. But even if I start off with the 50 yard zero, it wouldn't matter. My goal, regardless of the barrel length on my 9mm, is to be about 1 inch high 1 to 2 inches high, right? Yeah, it's probably a little bit more than this, but 1 to 2 inches high at 50 yards, and about 2 to 3 inches low at 100 yards. Okay, that's my goal. So regardless what length barrel I'm using, that's where I'm trying to go. So if you got a 16-inch barrel, the 25 yards is probably going to get there. But as you go to shorter lengths, the bullet's going a little bit shorter, you're probably going to need to bring that back a little bit, right? You may end up having to use 20 yards, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter which one you even start off with. It doesn't matter if you start with 20, 25, 50. I think that the ideal shooting, the ideal zero for your 9mm AR is at 100 yards, or rather at 50 yards, you're about 1 inch high, and that could be 2 inches high, right? You could go about 2 inches high, which will bring you 2 inches low. In fact, that might even be, well, I do a lot of close-up shooting, so I don't want to get, I don't want to, for now I'm going to leave it the way. But basically, you want to be about 2 inches high at 50 yards, 2 inches low at 100 yards. And that's ideal, because now from zero distance all the way out to 100 yards, you're gonna be on the paper. Okay, so that's my line of thinking, all right? And the 25 yard zero is a good place to start, but don't be afraid to readjust once you get out there. And those are the two things I would test: 50 yards and 100 yards. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, tomorrow I'm planning to go to a different range to do some training. And hopefully I'm training some people. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do a video for you guys while I'm out there. I want to take this 9mm. I believe it's a 300 yard range. So I want to see how this rifle does on the 300 yard range. So that's, and I'm not 100% sure. That's what I was told, not, by the person that I'm meeting there. And I don't think they were even 100% sure. So we'll see what it is when I get there. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon, and it's getting dark, so have a good night. Looking at the back of this camera, yeah, I mean, it's actually a lot more lit in the camera than it is. I mean, the camera amplifies the light. In reality, it's about half as bright as what you guys are seeing right now. I'll talk to you all soon.